This is Dhruv Ganapathy, who has been accepted at UMass Amherst and is planning on studying sports management. And so, Dhruv, could you tell us how you applied to colleges? What is the research you did, and how did you prepare?
Sure. Thank you for having me, first of all. Great to be on here. So, how I applied to colleges was quite simple. First, I identified the countries I wanted to study at. So, given that I'm a US citizen, I felt the US was the best place for me to study because after that, I can settle down there, get a job easier than other people will be able to. So, that was my main consideration. And two, I sort of identified what I was interested in because 11th grade, I feel, gives you a really good opportunity to explore your interests in terms of academics and how which subjects you want to further pursue. So, subjects that really interested me were econ, economics, and computer science. And everyone who knows me knows that I'm a big sports fan, especially football. And I always wanted to do something with football. If it wasn't becoming a football player, then some way to stay in connection with the sport or sports in general. And so, combining economics and computer science with this great passion I had for sports, I came across sports management as a career opportunity. And subsequently, I tried to do research about how I could study it. So initially, I thought that I could just study business management in general and then move on to sports management as a career. But then I also felt that if I was able to study sports management itself, it would give me uh, a greater insight into the career itself and the industry. And so I was able to do research about how there were academic programs for sports management, specifically in the US. And I found a few great online rankings. There's this really great website called Niche, which has rankings for all the various academic programs. So I found the one for sports management and I looked at all the universities there and then I went into their own website and I looked at their sports management department and the school it came under, the courses that they have, the internships, study abroad programs, the professors. Um, and I did all that and I compiled my list. And so something that I did with my father actually for research was we made this Google spreadsheet. And in that spreadsheet, we had there were about 10 factors for each school. So there was the pricing, which is tuition and residence fees. Then there was the program that's being offered. Then there was their average SAT score and how it compares to my SAT score. And then there was their average GPA and how it compares to my GPA. So if anyone applying to the US, there's this really great website called US News where they post rankings of schools, and they in each individual school, um, there are there's lots of information about it. It's about $5 to subscribe. So I did that, and I used all that information for my research, and I compiled all of this basically into a ranking out of I think it was 15. Um, so and then I took about I think about 20, 30 schools and I did all this. And then the rankings, the top 12 that I had, I then looked at those and I went in further and I researched those and then I finalized on those 12. And UMass Amherst was one of those 12. And uh, something something about UMass. So I would really encourage everyone to use the website because some colleges have lots of information on the website that's really helpful. And I would also recommend if you have the opportunity, try to consult with someone in the field about how these colleges have a brand and how recognizable that brand is in the industry. So when I had to decide on UMass, I found that a lot of people were saying that it's much easier to get a job if you're at UMass because of the brand that it has in the industry in sports management. So that was another one of the reasons why I chose it. And um, to prepare, I so again, this is another reason why you need to use the website a lot for the essays, especially because colleges. I found that they don't want any generic and mundane response about what you want to do in the world. If you say I want to, I want to explore new opportunities, you have to say what those opportunities are. I want to get better experience. You want to say you need to say how to get that better experience, and in order to do that, you really need to explore the website because that gives you the opportunity to show the university that you've done your research, as well as it gives you a better understanding of what the university is, and you can even use it in your decision making if you're writing the essay. So that's that's how I prepared, and also um, you need to do a lot of brainstorming about and a lot of identity searching, who you are, what you want to be in the future. Because something that I've heard a lot is that the reason universities accept you is because of who you can be in the future, and the alumna or alumnus that you can become and how that relates to them. So you really need to discover yourself in this college applications process, and yeah, it's rewarding overall, but quite tiring, I would say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dhruv, for sharing your application process, how you shortlisted colleges, and the useful sites out there which can really help students. And so, thank you so much.
Thank you.